Hello everyone, welcome to Commerce Bees. In my previous videos, I have already discussed with you the meaning of economic activity and the types of economic activities. Wherein the economic activities are divided into three types. The first is the employment, the second is the profession, and the third is the business. When we talk about business, business is an economic activity involving production, exchange, distribution, and sale of goods and services for earning profit. Then what is the meaning of business activities? Let's see. The activities undertaken by the business organization in the course of running its regular operations for gaining profit are known as business activities. So all the activities undertaken by the business organization for earning profit are called as business activities. So the activities like production, exchange, distribution, and sale of goods and services are called as business activities. Various business activities may be classified into two broad categories. So the business activities are mainly categorized into two types. The first is the industry. The second is the commerce, wherein industry deals with the production side of the business and commerce deals with the exchange side of the business. Industry mainly deals with the transformation of the raw materials into the finished products, and those finished products are exchanged with the help of the commerce to the final consumers. So these two are the main activities of the business. Let's see the bifurcation of the business activities, wherein the business activities can be classified into two types. The first is the industry and the second is the commerce. Industry mainly deals with the production and processing of the raw materials into the finished products. So the production side of the business is called as industry, and those finished products are exchanged with the help of commerce. So commerce deals with the exchange side of the business. Again, the industry can be classified into three types. The first is the primary industry, the second is the secondary industry, and the third is the tertiary industry. The primary industry is a nature-oriented industry wherein it extracts the natural and the raw materials from the natural resources like water or soil and air. So those raw materials are again used by the secondary industry and it processes those raw materials into the finished products. So that is called as the secondary industry. The third is the tertiary industry. It is the service industry. For example, the tourism industry is an example of the tertiary industry, wherein it provides the services to the people. In primary industry, the primary industry can be classified into two types. The first is the extractive industry and the second is the genetic industry. In extractive industry, it extracts the natural resources and produce the goods. The second is the genetic industry, wherein it is mainly involved in the breeding of the plants and animals and which can be used for further reproduction. Again, the secondary industry is divided into two types. The first is the manufacturing industry and the second is the construction industry. Manufacturing industry is mainly concerned with the transformation of the raw materials into finished products, and the construction industry mainly deals with the construction of the roads, bridges, dams and canals. Again, the manufacturing industry can be classified into four types. The first is the analytical, the second is the synthetic, the third is the processing, and the fourth is the assembling. Now let's move to the commerce. In commerce, it can be divided into two types. The first is the trade, the second is the auxiliaries to trade. Auxiliaries to trade can be also called as the aids to trade. Trade is the buying and selling of goods and services, and auxiliaries to trade helps in the smooth exchange of the goods from the producer to the final consumers. Again, the trade is divided into two types. The first is the internal trade, the second is the external trade. Internal trade means the buying and selling of goods and services within the national boundaries, and external trade means when we are buying and selling the goods with the foreign countries, then that is called as the external trade. The internal trade is again divided into two types. The first is the wholesale trade, the second is the retail trade. When the wholesale trade means when the Wholesaler is buying the goods in bulk quantity from the producer, then it is called as a wholesale trade. And retail trade means when the retailer is buying the goods from the wholesaler and selling those goods in small quantities to the final consumers, then it is called as retail trade. Now, the external trade is divided into three types. The first is the import trade, wherein we buy the goods from the foreign countries. The second is the export trade, wherein we sell the goods to the other countries. And the third is the interport trade, wherein we buy the goods from one country to sell it to the other countries. That is called as the interport trade. The second is the auxiliaries to trade. In the auxiliaries to trade, the different services are covered. The first is the banking services. The second is the insurance. The third is the transport. Fourth is warehouse, and the fifth is the advertising. These activities helps in the smooth exchange of the goods from the producer to the final consumers. If you want a detailed explanation on the industry and commerce, then stay tuned to Commerce Biz. Thank you.